You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Ian, look at this.
What, it's a police box. What on earth is he doing here? I mean, these things are usually on the street. I feel it. I feel it. You feel it?
Faint vibration.
It's alive.
Earth Station Who, a fun mashup celebrating nearly 50 years of Doctor Who universe. Hold tight. You never know where the TARDIS is going next.
Hey there, Whovians. Welcome to another episode of the Earth Station Who podcast. That's right, folks. We're back, and we have a great one for you tonight. We are going back to the David Tennant era, and we are looking at the planet of the Ood. Ood. It's a very Ood episode, and it's can't believe how Ood it is, really. So it's going to be fun to talk all about it. And, of course, we have Mr. Mike Gordon here.
Howdy.
And Ms. Mary Ogle.
Hi, everybody. It is fantastic to be here.
Ready to get Ood with everybody?
We apologize in advance for all the Ood puns that are about to come your way.
Oh, yes. It's gonna be fun, and this is the first time I've actually watched this one since it aired. It has been that long since I have.
Me too.
I don't know why.
It's been a while, since I've seen it.
I completely forgot this one existed.
And I forgot how good it was too. And this whole era with Doctor and Donna is just such a great
one of my favorite seasons.
Mm-hmm. Very much so, the new series. And we're going to be doing more of these. We're going to try to wrap up most of the Dr. Donna stuff before the new 60th anniversary, since it seems that that's going to be the main focus of the 60th anniversary as of right now that we know. So I think it'll be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to talking to with these two wonderful people. We'd love to hear from you guys at home, of course. Feedback at earthstationwho.com is the best way to get in touch with us. All right. Doctor Who news. Very, very quiet on the Doctor Who front.
Very quiet.
Mm-hmm. Well, we had San Diego Comic-Con, and Doctor Who was originally supposed to be in Hall H. And it was supposed to be Shooty. It was supposed to be Tennant. It was supposed to be RTD. It was supposed to be, a celebration of the 60th anniversary. And because of the SAG strike, they basically, decided to, be in solidarity and pull themselves from it. And which was the right thing to do. Totally. And so I think, we were supposed to get the trailer for the 60th anniversary. We were supposed to get, some kind of news. Instead, all we got from the San Diego Comic-Con was we got to see the 14th Doctor's new sonic screwdriver.
Ooh.
They made a nifty video for it.
It does look pretty cool, actually.
It does. It does look really cool. It looks like it's a hybrid of all the new season Doctors of the new series.
Yeah, it does. I wonder.
It has different bits and pieces, some Jodie's, some of the 9 and 10s, and some of 11s, and even 12s. It's pretty awesome. So it's pretty cool. And they had a toy of it, a model of it, whatever you want to call it, that actually went on for sale, and it sold out in 30 minutes. So
I'm not surprised.
As Mike Gordon said off the air, they had 12 of them, so they just wanted to, get rid of them.
And they were on eBay within an hour.
Oh God,
yeah, or less. Yeah,
you can get them up on eBay now for
they were all flipped,
a couple $100.
It's probably they were all bought by one person.
Probably. How many you got? Here you go. Here's $12.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, you know what? So. Well, I'm sure they'll re-release them closer to the 60th. And I hope. And I would love to get one because I like collecting the sonic screwdrivers. I think they're kind of fun.
Yeah. I don't know. This one looks like it's a bit much to me. Like you said, it's incorporating everything, and it just looked like it was a little too busy for me. I kind of feel like it's funny that, the 14th Doctor's in 3 specials and he needs like the most advanced and complex sonic screwdriver we've ever seen.
He's got to wave that thing around.
I guess so. I mean, it's cool. I don't dislike it, but I did think it was a bit much. I mean, I'm much more of a classic Sonic guy anyway. The simpler, the better for me. But
okay. Now,
especially because as a toy, like I got the one that Matt Smith uses, and it like within about a month of use, it broke. So I'm just thinking like, okay, well, this one, has even more moving parts, so it's probably going to break as well.
How
well, you don't take it out of the box. Yeah. What kind of fan are you?
If it's a collectible, you keep it in the box, dude.
If I'm going to have a sonic screwdriver in my house, it's coming out of the box.
You're going to use it, darn it.
I'm going to use it. That's right.
There you go. Well, there you go. So cool. So yeah, so we had a sonic screwdriver, and then, folks, we got an announcement from Big Finish. They announced I think it was the 5th part of the Once and Future series that they're doing for the 60th anniversary. It's going to be the 10th Doctor. But this time he's getting to meet Missy and also the Paternoster gang.
Yay.
Mind blown. I'm like, oh my goodness. That's like, the only way it could be better is if you would put River Song in there. So, well, not her theme, but her as a character. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun, I think. So I'm really looking forward to that one. We were talking about that whole series and whether or not we were going to invest in all of them or whatnot. And to be honest with you, I mean, it's too much of a burden for me because it just seems like it's a lot of money to pay. Like what, to get them everything was like $80 or something like that, right?
75.
Yeah.
It's down to 75 for all of them.
Gotcha.
And for me, because it's you're going to probably be saving probably about $12-15 instead of buying them individually.
No, if you buy the bundle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still a lot of money, for something that, Big Finish is not 100% like, great to me. So I'm just, I think it can be pretty cool. But on the other hand, I'm like, some of their, I guess I should be glad that, a lot of their stories right now are like $30. It seems like the default is, but then again, that's 4 stories in a volume. So I don't know. I was not planning to get the whole thing, but I definitely want to get this chapter of it. So I'm hoping that you don't need every single chapter in order for things to make sense.
Or at least it's over like several years' time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this one would be pretty hard to pass up.
Well, I was interested because I've already, we purchased the first one, and I was interested because I liked the idea for the second one, which was the 5th Doctor and Jenny, and I wanted to hear that one also.
Yeah. Oh, the idea of the idea of him, Peter working with his daughter and everything was kind of fun. So right. I agree. I thought that one was kind of neat, but some of the others did not thrill me as much.
What, you didn't want to hear the 6th Doctor with Harry Sullivan and also Pete Tyler and Lady Christina or whatever?
Oh, that sounds deadly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's not review that one.
No. So it'll be very interesting to, hear. I'm going to purchase all of them, and because I'm a completist in a lot of ways, same way with comics and Funko Pops and stuff like that. As you could tell from my closet and my, shelves in my office and stuff. So, you know what? It's just for me, I want to hear how it progresses and the story and the explanation for it. So I'll be very curious to see how it goes. The other Big Finish news, though, that was pretty cool is they've started taking pre-orders for August when the Diary of River Song Volume 12 is coming out.
Yay.
So
The last one.
The last one. And you know what? It's going to be a lot of fun. It's her and Jackie Tyler. What can go wrong there? And they're taking on the Crotons. So,
Well, do we know that's all in one story?
we don't know. The Crotons are the big bad in it, and they've talked about that in the description. So
They often link their stories together.
Some of the ones we've had don't link them at all, and some do link them all together.
They don't.
So,
Well, even when they do link them, they don't do it well usually.
no, a lot of times.
It's another reason why I wasn't excited to buy all the parts of the the 60th anniversary special. So,
so it's going to be fun, and you know what? That'll be another one we'll probably review after the 60th anniversary, because we're up to what, number 7 or 8, I think. I think we're coming up on 8 already for the diary.
Yeah, I don't remember.
No, that's how
I
much.
can't keep the numbers straight.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're pretty behind. So
Yeah.
So we'll still be reviewing them till 2030.
Right. I'm okay with that.
I don't mind at all.
There's a new Doom thing coming out on Big Finish too, but I'm totally ignoring that.
What is this Doom thing you're talking about?
What Doom?
What Doom thing? What Doom thing? So that's all the Doctor Who news we really have to talk about right now. It was interesting seeing Shooty and Barbie. He was he is one of the Kens. So
yes, he didn't get a whole lot to do.
No, he did not. So it was interesting watching him do that, and you know what? At least he's getting out there and everything, and he's getting closer and closer to the 60th anniversary, folks.
Yeah, this year is going by pretty fast, actually.
Yeah, because we're now 5 months, less than 5 months away.
Yep, already in August.
Craziness. Crazy. All right.
We're only, well, depending on when it comes out, 3 or 4 months away.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point, because it could be at the beginning of November. We don't know. We just don't know.
They won't tell us anything.
No, they won't. So, shall we get Ood now?
Now then, Dr. Noble, Mrs. Noble, if you'd like to come with me.
Oh, no, we're not married.
We're so not married. Never, ever.
Here at Ood Operations, we like to think of the Ood as our trusted friend.
I found your unwanted guests.
Because at heart, what is an Ood?
I'm on your side.
But a reflection of us.
It's a revolution.
If your Ood is happy,
What is it? What is the circle?
then you will be happy too.
Let's go back to the wonderful year of 2008. God, I can't believe it's that long ago.
Wow.
Just feels like yesterday.
2008. That was a great year. Everything crashed. Everybody lost their jobs.
It was the .com crash. It was awesome. The stock market crashed. It was, it was.
We had to prop up the banks.
Exactly. God. Craziness. And we had a season of Dr. Donna, and we got to see Planet of the Ood, and this was Donna's first time going to an alien planet. So this was a neat experience, and it was a great story. And I remember liking it a lot during the original viewing of it. And for some reason, I didn't go back to watch it again. It was just,
it's interesting. This one kind of gets lost in the shuffle because there's so many great episodes during this season. But I agree. This is a good episode. It just goes to show you the quality of this season.
Exactly. And that's part of the fun of it. And, it's neat to see, because this was only the second time we got to see the Ood, and it was a lot different than Satan Pit.
Yeah, completely different.
Yep. And you actually get to learn their backstory. You get to learn, how they, even got to the impossible planet and such, because, they were being sent out as slave labor, basically, as servants. and you got to find the company behind it. It was really interesting. And it, it was talking a lot about society at that time. And don't tell me that Doctor Who was not always woke, folks. Come on. It always has been. You know that.
Yeah, well, it has been. I mean, almost since the beginning. I mean, and guess what? There's nothing wrong with talking about real issues.
Well, exactly. No, I'm on the same page. And it's like so many people were like going, during the Chibnall era, Doctor Who just became so woke and everything. It's like, no, folks. It's always been that way. Right here, what the topic was and everything. And it was interesting because the story was good and it moved real quick. For 42 minutes, it flew by. It was like nonstop on this. And I enjoyed that. What about you guys?
Yeah, I really enjoy this episode too. I mean, it's a real, especially really cements Donna as being such a great companion because she is very conflicted here. She gets so upset that at one point she says she wants to go home. She doesn't want to travel anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And she's getting a real awakening into what the horrors along with the beauty of humanity and the galaxy and the universe. And it's very well portrayed. I mean, and the chemistry between Catherine Tate and David Tennant is just off the charts.
Oh, completely.
God, I can just sit back and watch them forever. They are so much fun together.
I could sit around and watch them just read the dictionary and it would be great. It would be fun as heck, but you know what? And that's part of the cool thing about it is the chemistry between this. And this is only Donna's third storyline, of the season. And she was great. And the way they play off of each other. And I love when they first come out of the TARDIS, the Doctor doesn't even think about her getting a winter jacket or anything.
No, she's just out there freezing. But that's the great thing about Donna. She just turns around and goes back, gets around.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Yeah.
And then,
she's like, I don't need you.
Exactly.
I take care of myself.
The Doctor was like going, oh, you didn't hear my soliloquy, did you? She said, pardon?
No.
And it was really fun. And it was really nice how they played off of each other. And, it was good, and, CG was just okay with like the big brain and everything.
Well, it was sort of typical of the time.
Well, exactly. I would have hated to see the model they would have done during the Tom Baker era.
Bubble wrap.
Exactly.
It would have been just pink, painted bubble wrap and spray painted pink.
Exactly. And it would be glowing in the inside. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
And they would drop a doll into it.
Right, a Barbie. Or a Ken. And
so that would have been interesting. But yes. And, Mikey, what about your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's okay. You guys like it a lot more than I do. To be, like I said before, I forgot this story even existed, and rewatching it was kind of cool. Because I was like, oh yeah, I'd forgotten all about this. Cause there's really nothing in here that's overly great. Everything is serviceable. I'm also not like, I mean, I appreciate the 10th Doctor and Donna era, but I'm not as in love with it as you guys are and other people are. So but it's fine. I think Mary's right. I think Donna has some real interesting scenes in here, some sequences where she is really conflicted and she wakes up to not only the nature of the universe, but the nature of her own planet. Because, as horrified as she is that these things are going on in the universe and in the future and everything, the Doctor reminds her, like, this is going on right under your nose, on your own planet. And it shows that, the 10th Doctor and the Doctor is pretty, not vulnerable is the word, but he makes mistakes as well. I mean, he even admits, because really this is just a follow up on on the introduction of the Ood in the Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit, where Rose is actually the one that really reaches out and responds to the Ood, and the Doctor could care less because, well, I mean, he's got the devil to deal with, right? So his plate is kind of full. But Rose is really the one who, is just like reaching out and horrified by the way they're treated. And so we get a sort of, this sort of repeats here, and the Doctor finally kind of addresses something that he probably should have addressed back then as well. Although we don't know, I mean, I think, even though I'm not really sure, linearly, like in continuity, where this takes place in relation to, as far as how many years past it, etc., as the events of Impossible Planet and Satan Pit. But we know that obviously things changed for the Ood after this moment. So all that had to happen beforehand. And it's nice to see that the Doctor comes and kind of rights a wrong here.
Oh, very much so. And even Donna calls him on it in this and says, why didn't you help them back then? And he says, well, I was kind of distracted, fighting Satan. And that just blew over, Donna's mind.
She's like, yeah, right.
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Like, well, then again, it's kind of like, really, do you not like, I mean, sure, that's what he was doing because that's what he does.
Yeah, exactly.
And, they're, like I said, they're still learning. And yeah, we do get some seeds for what may come afterwards, the use of the Ood, because they will return, spoilers, for later on in the season. But the rest of the characters, the actors are fine. But the characters are just kind of one-dimensional, playing off. My favorite sequence, actually, of any of the side characters is when I think it's Mr. Halpin. Is that the big CEO guy, right?
The big bad.
Yeah. As when they're evacuating, and he tells his loyal Ood, like, hey, you've been loyal to me, be with your people. And it seems like such a benevolent gesture, although it's anything but, because he's like, I don't want to take you with me because you're probably infected too. So why don't you stay here and die with the rest of them? Like, it's just like,
I don't give a shit about you, but I'm going to make it sound like I do.
Exactly. And I was just like, that's a pretty cool scene. That
it was a very CEO thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Very much so.
There's a lot of the Ood are fine. None of it makes sense to me at all, but I mean, who cares? It's Doctor Who. They do have a cool look. I've always thought they look pretty cool. They kind of have like this sort of Lovecraftian look about them. So it's, I do appreciate, like, when Donna first sees him, she's like, what's wrong with its face? And David, the 10th Doctor really, quickly says, like, come on, that's not cool. So, and scenes like that are kind of cool because they kind of, we can relate to Donna in that way. Cause she's not always politically correct. But she learns and she feels really relatable. So, I mean, I get the love for her. And like I said, Catherine Tate's, abilities acting wise is stellar. And the two of them do have chemistry. But it's not like after I saw this, I'm like, man, I'm going to watch this one again and again and again. What an instant classic this was. I forgot. I just, it's just a filler episode, really.
Okay. No, I didn't feel like it was filler at all, but yeah, so it's interesting though, because, I liked how the Ood, was secretly poisoning that guy. Converting him
the whole time. Yes.
Yeah, with the hair tonic and everything.
Yes.
I hated that. I thought that
really?
I thought that was dumb. Sorry. It doesn't make any sense to me because it sounded like that this Ood was cognizant of what it was doing long before the others. The sequence where the other guy, the Halpin becomes an Ood was just, I don't know. It didn't work for me. Didn't work for me at all. I guess I just wanted that guy to die a horrible death.
I love that twist.
Instead, the scientist got the horrible death.
Yeah, and the scientist, who turns out to be trying to help the Ood, dies almost immediately after the reveal. But he's actually a good guy.
Surprise! Yeah. And man, that was That was a neat effect, pushing him into the brain and the brain devouring him.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yep. Hey.
Instead of the whole zombie eating brains thing, it's the brains eating you.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow. But true. So, but it was interesting. I enjoyed it and I liked it. None of the supporting characters were likable at all. None, there wasn't. Even you thought the marketing girl, the one woman who was Indian, you thought, oh, maybe she might turn out to be the good one who helps the doctor along. Nope.
Nope, she's horrible.
Yep. She got what she deserved.
Yep.
So it's cool, to each their own, to each, they got it. And, this also, like we said earlier and, before we went on the air, this was the beginning of, the Dr. Donna, the hints of what was to come.
Yeah. It's interesting going back and watching this
Mm-hmm.
after the fact, because there's a lot of foreshadowing about the whole Dr. Donna thing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I liked that. And then also when the Ood looked at the doctor, asking him if they were going to stay. And he says, no, I've got to keep on going. And he says, doctor, every song has its ending. And it was the first time they were hinting that his regeneration was coming. And, because they play on that a lot later on.
Yes.
Anyway, so, because I don't know if Tennant had announced that he was leaving yet at this point. So.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure whether we knew yet or not.
So it was interesting because I know by the time that they do the season finale of this, he had announced that he was coming back just for one of those specials. And that, afterwards, and that he was going to come back for the 4 specials. And that he was going to, after that, he was going to leave the series. So, so this is, we don't know what he had told RTD and blah, blah, blah. So it was very interesting too. But I think it must have, because when we did the Doctor's Daughter, and that's also in this season, a couple episodes down, it was, that was the reason Jenny didn't die, because they already knew RTD was leaving and that Moffat wanted to possibly keep Jenny around for future stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which he never did, but we talked about that already. So, but it was interesting. It definitely was interesting. So, you know what? I like this one. I think it moved. It was entertaining, and it is part of an amazing season for me, and one of my favorite seasons of the new series. And you know what? Glad we got to do it. And we're going to be doing a couple more of these, like we said earlier, before we see the 60th. I think we'll finish off the ones we haven't reviewed, because I think we still have the one with, the Wasp one?
The Unicorn and the Wasp?
Yeah.
The Unicorn and the Wasp, and I think we also have the Sontaran episode still to do.
That one's not not quite as exciting.
No,
but
you got Martha.
That's a 2-parter.
That's right. Oh boy, so we got to watch 2 episodes of the new series. That's cool. So we'll have that in a few weeks, folks. So it should be very cool. Let's go ahead. If no one has any final thoughts, let's go ahead and rate this one. 1 out of 5 TARDISes. 1 being the best, 1 being the worst, and 5 being the best.
Gonna switch it up on us there.
I tried to real quick, but actually, Mr. Mike, I'm gonna let you go first.
Well, just 2 other things to note that I thought was interesting about this one is that it's directed by Graham Harper.
Yeah.
Who has directed, I don't know, has he directed more episodes of Doctor Who than anybody? I mean, it's just, and you'd think this is the tail end of his career, but I think he ends up directing 4 or 5 stories in this season, right? So, quite amazing. And I think it's well directed. I certainly don't have any ill will towards that guy. The other thing I thought was interesting, and I didn't really catch this, certainly the first time I watched it. The second time I was kind of like, ooh, what's that? But the Ood sphere is in the same planetary system as the Sense sphere, which when we saw the Sensorites, that's where the same sort of space that they're in, which I think is kind of interesting that it links the Ood to classic Who in that way. So I thought that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But overall, like I said, it's all right. It's a middle of the road episode. I'll give it a 6 out of 5.
6 out of 5?
I'm sorry, 3 out of 5. I was meant 6 out of 10, but we'll say 3 out of 5.
Okay. All right, Mary, what about you?
I think I'm going to give this one a 4 because I actually to be fair, this is one I tend to forget about too, but I think it's only because it's kind of overshadowed by some sort of splashier episodes in the season. But it's kind of a very revealing look of Donna's, path to growth at the beginning of her season. Mm-hmm. And for that alone, I would recommend it. But the interplay between her and the Doctor is priceless. I mean, everyone really should want to see that. And by the way, they very recently came out with a Target novelization of this episode. It just came out in July, written by the original screenwriter for this episode. Oh. So if anybody's into the books, they may want to look for that. It's got a very cool sort of retro cover.
Oh, that's awesome. That is really, really awesome. We'll definitely check it out. I know I remember seeing the book and they make it look like the Target novelizations and everything. I love when they do that. I love when they do it.
I know we talked about Target novelizations, I think, last time, but have they done every single Doctor Who story? Or are they still not done a lot of them?
I think they've done all the old series.
I know that, but I'm talking about new series as well.
Yeah, I don't know how many of the new series they've done. Like I said, this one just came out in July. So
they're running a little late.
Yeah, so I assume they're still working on them.
That would be very interesting to see. So, yep, it's my turn to rate. So I'm going to do a 4.5 for this one. I enjoyed it, and I left with a grin on my face watching this one, and it's a carryover of the whole season, and like Mary said, you see Donna's growth in this one a lot, but you also saw it in the episode before in the Fires of Pompeii. Mm-hmm. The Doctor just wanted to leave, and it was because of Donna that she saved Peter Capaldi's family in this.
Yes, so he could return.
Exactly. We needed Dr. Angry Eyebrow, so it's perfect. So yeah, it was awesome, and the chemistry is what pushed it up to a 4.5 for me, because originally I was going to do a 4. So I'm glad we were all over the place with this one, but you know what, folks, we are having fun with it, and we definitely would love to hear from you guys at home. Feedback at earthstationwho.com. Let us know what you guys thought. Definitely check us out, of course, and definitely love hearing from you guys. And if you get a chance, leave feedback for us. We would really appreciate it wherever you're listening to find podcasts. A little bit of news, though, that we just found out recently that Stitcher is going away, and Stitcher will be no more, is vacating, but our show is going to be migrating over to Pandora and to SiriusXM. So we're going to be both on the app, so you'll be able to find our Station Who up there. So it's pretty cool that, just more places for us to be found and everything. So it's going to be a lot of cool stuff for us to do. I don't know if we've made this announcement in the past, but our Station Who will not be having a panel at DragonCon 2023 this year, but we are going to be part of DragonCon 2023 because we are going to have a virtual panel coming to you very, very soon. And it probably will be shown on the app or on the DragonCon TV streaming service. So we will be up there too. And we are going to be talking about the Doctor Who spin-offs, that, what we would like to see, what they've done in the past. And we'll go all the way back probably to the comics and to, different ways that Doctor Who has spun off and everything. So it's going to be a ton of fun to do. We got a great crew to talk about it. So when we find out when it's going to be airing, when you'll be able to see it, or how you're going to be able to see it, we'll be there to tell you all about it. But until then, of course, we're going to sign off for tonight and want to thank our crew for being here. Mr. Mike Gordon, we made it through another one, my friend.
We did, and as always, it's my pleasure.
And Ms. Mary Ogle, thanks for joining us as always.
Thank you for having me. This was a wonderful episode to talk about.
Yes, it was. Anything you want to shout out about or promote?
You can find me at maryogle.com or on Etsy at eVisionArts.
Excellent. Definitely check out her stuff, folks. She does some amazing work. So definitely till then, my name's Mike Faber. We will see you here next time on Earth Station Who. Peace, and we are done.
You have been listening to Earth Station Who, a bi-weekly pop culture podcast dedicated to all things Doctor Who, featuring talents from across the universe. All topics on the show are the sole opinions of the individual and are used for entertainment value alone. You subscribe to our podcast up on iTunes, Stitcher, or follow our blog at www.esopodcast.com. You can also follow us up on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. If you enjoyed the show, please leave feedback up on iTunes.
Tune in to The Con Guys Show. Con as in Comic-Con. We are Hollywood filmmakers and superfans who cover all the news of the Con universe, including the films, the TV shows, the streaming series, the experiences, and the events that fuel your fandom. If you'd find it at Comic-Con, then you'll find it here. Now in our 7th year, The Con Guys Show is a proud member of the ESO Network.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.